I should have left earlier. The countdown decorations were already taped to the walls when I arrived. Gold letters peeling at the corners. My mother kissed my cheek without meeting my eyes. My father nodded from across the room, distracted. My brother Samir was loud from the start. He thrives in rooms where he feels backed by an audience. I had brought a simple gift, nothing dramatic. A leather-bound planner for him. He had once told me he wanted to get serious about his contracting business this year. I believed him. When it was my turn to hand it over, he held it up like evidence in a trial. "A planner," he said. "From you?" I didn't answer. I've learned that explanations only stretch things out. He flipped through it theatrically, then suddenly tossed it into the trash bin near the kitchen island. "There," he announced. "That's where it belongs. No one in this family wants you pretending to advise us." A few cousins laughed nervously. My father clapped once, not loud, just enough to signal agreement. My mother followed with a tight smile. "Let's not ruin the mood," she said, which somehow meant I was the problem. The room felt smaller. Samir stepped closer. "You think because you co-signed one loan years ago, you're above everyone. Relax, we're fine without you." There it was. The subtext made text, the loan. 3 years ago, when Dad's workshop nearly went under, I signed as guarantor so they could refinance the house. I never mentioned it at gatherings. I never wanted leverage. I just didn't want them to lose everything. I looked at the trash bin. The planner sat on top of crumpled wrapping paper. I picked up my coat. "Very gladly," I said. No raised voice, no speech, just acceptance. I walked out before anyone could reinterpret my silence as surrender. Outside, the night air was cold enough to sting. Fireworks were already testing the sky early. I stood by my car and let the humiliation pass through me instead of into me. For months, I had been debating whether to renew the guarantee. The agreement expired at midnight on December 31. The bank had required written confirmation 2 weeks ago. I hadn't renewed it. Not out of anger, out of exhaustion. My phone buzzed at 11:52 p.m. Ignored. At 11:58 p.m. it rang again. I answered this time. My father's voice was tight. "Did you withdraw your guarantee?" "Yes." "You didn't tell us." I didn't think anyone wanted my involvement. In the background, I could hear Samir arguing with someone. My mother speaking too quickly. Then another sound. A knock, firm, official. I could almost picture it. A man's voice, distant but clear. "Good evening. We're here from National Trust Bank regarding the refinancing agreement." Silence swallowed the room. I heard the door open. Papers rustling. "The guarantor's term concludes at midnight." The representative continued. "One need acknowledgement of the updated terms effective immediately." My mother's voice broke in, panicked. "But it's New Year's Eve." "Yes, ma'am," the man replied calmly. "That's why we scheduled the visit now. The system transitions automatically." Samir grabbed the phone from my father. "What did you do?" he demanded. "I let the agreement expire," I said. "You're trying to scare us?" "No, I'm stepping back." There was a difference. Through the line, I could hear the bank officer explaining interest adjustments, the requirement for a new guarantor, the possibility of reassessment within 30 days. Procedural, predictable, not dramatic. Samir's voice lowered. "If we can't secure another guarantor." "I know," I said. Fireworks erupted somewhere nearby. Midnight. The new year. "Police," my mother said quietly now. Not indignant, not dismissive, just afraid. "Don't do this tonight." I closed my eyes. I wasn't enjoying this. There was no rush of victory. Only a heavy clarity. "I didn't do anything tonight," I said. "The paperwork was submitted weeks ago." Samir exhaled sharply. "So what now?" "Now," I said carefully, "if you want my involvement again, it won't be assumed. It will be discussed, respectfully, on paper." The word respect hung between us. No one argued with it this time. In the background, the bank representative asked for signatures acknowledging receipt of notice. Pens scratched across documents. The power in the room had shifted, but not because I had raised my voice. It shifted because I was no longer absorbing what they refused to recognize. "I'll call you tomorrow," my father said finally. "Okay." I ended the call. Across the street, neighbors were counting down loudly. 10, 9, 8. I sat in my car and watched fireworks bloom against the dark sky. I didn't feel triumphant, I felt untethered. For years, I had stayed to prove I belonged. Tonight, they made it clear I didn't. And instead of fighting for a seat at their table, I walked away and let the practical consequences speak where I no longer would. The new year began not with reconciliation, but with boundaries. And that felt honest.